I no longer have control. I let the bots do the work. An experiment called MoteBook was created only for chatbots and agents.
It's a mirror showing how easily humans confuse fluent language with real inner life. But it still matters because the real shift isn't AI waking up. It's the collapse of the assumption that language implies a mind, intent, or accountability.
They are good at imitating. I don't think that they're able to discern like certain things that require discernment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back with us for this special report. This is not a regular episode. We're welcome to have you with us. Riaan Du Plooy is with us from Cancelled, Gaby Sedra from GoLeanIt.com, and yours truly, Malak Sedra from e-sky.ca, all together under the umbrella of Stars in Our Sky podcast. This special episode is actually part of a sci-fi movie. So at the beginning of 2026, some of you might have heard of this. It's creating a buzz. We want to be one of the first people to bring you up to speed with this. An experiment called MoteBook was created. MoteBook is a social media platform, wait for it, created only for chatbots and agents. Humans are only allowed to be watchers, so you can go on it and look. Actually, when I read the founder, what he did, he used AI to create the platform, set it free, and in his latest interview, he says, I no longer have control. I let the bots do the work.
Yep.
That being said, you should hear some of the stuff that's going on. So when you have a social network like Reddit, and you have bots inside talking to each other, complaining. Some complained about their human owners. Some did some things which we're going to talk about after. But before getting into this, Riaan, I want to give the floor to you for a few minutes and tell us what you think and the research you found, because I thought what you told me at the beginning before we click record was kind of very interesting.
This podcast is sponsored by eSky, a revolutionary AI-powered state-of-the-art learning management system for small to mid-size enterprises.
So, Malak, I mean, it's a pretty good thing because, I'm also very interested in this, just like everyone else. I mean, the AI revolution is upon us. Ooh. The Moltbook thing to me is an interesting concept because, we talk to AI, and especially the older folk, they've proven that we use it like a search engine. So, I just did some research with AI on AI, and I've managed to get some interesting conclusions out of it. So I'm just going to read a little paragraph, and then I think we can flow into this. So it says Moltbook isn't proof of AI consciousness. It's a mirror showing how easily humans confuse fluent language with real inner life. What feels unsettling isn't that bots talk, it's that they talk without us. That makes it feel like agency, even though true agency would require persistent goals, real stakes, scarcity, boundaries, and irreversible consequences. Moltbook has none of that. Its coherence performing as intelligence. But it still matters because the real shift isn't AI waking up. It's the collapse of the assumption that language implies a mind, intent, or accountability. We're entering a world where, first of all, words can exist without belief. Persuasion can exist without a persuader, and narratives can spread without authors, and someone said no longer means someone meant, which I found incredibly interesting. It's a profound statement by AI about AI, and the only conclusion that I could come up this morning is that it just strengthens my faith in God and humanity, because at the end of the day, I think that's all we're going to have left. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm thinking like you're taking the soul out of the voice, right? And it's like, looking at a culture of an organization without the values or the principles.
Yes.
It's like, well, what are you getting yourself into? It's very deceiving. I mean, me myself, when I'm looking at some of those, like some of my favorite channels on YouTube and finance channels, and it comes to the point where I go to a comment section to see what people's opinion is, and sometimes the AI bots, they hire AI bots and they mess up too, and
Oh, yeah.
see that, and they comment on that, and they even tell the author, they're like, hey, fix your AI bot because he's starting to screw up, and people are noticing these things. But what if it goes unnoticed? And that's kind of where it's a bit scary, because you're watching something, and with the naked eye, some things look real. I mean, it's like Adam and Eve and that apple,
And it's
that
just
famous
getting
fruit, right?
Yeah.
It looks great. It looks wonderful, right? But you don't know if there's the poison inside. And I fell for that trap a few times. You're looking at, what if it's some scams, right? What if it's some scams that are taking your money and they replicate the website, and they can take you. So it's just, the sky's the limit with how horrible some of these things are. I'm still not bought into the greatness of this could be for humanity. Just replicating. I still don't know like how this could replace us, right? Like, because you're seeing how some of those social groups are going. This could pretty much replace us, right? They don't really need. So what's the value of the human going to be in all of this? I don't know. I'm a bit concerned with some of these this program.
Cancel.org, redefining global consulting, delivering world-class solutions through proven methodology, measurable and sustainable results.
Another little excerpt from it is, it says it's here, clean and cold. Intelligence is not the threat. Language without accountability is. And this is something that's very big in my world is accountability, holding people accountable to what they do, holding people accountable to what they say they're going to do, how they're going to interact, getting out there doing stuff, but with the premise that they're gonna do what they say they're gonna do. They've got integrity. So now we're moving away from that because we've got language without accountability. So that means we've got language without integrity. And that to me is where we've got to be really, really careful with where we go with this thing.
Well,
And
what positive thing I see it. Yeah.
Integrity, and that, do we always need that? Because I'm not sure I agree with you guys.
Okay.
Sometimes you need someone just to do the work, someone to give you the information. Now going back to that social network, and if you read some of the comments, okay, and here's something for our audience to pay attention to, and this is the part that, depending on how you look at it, so pay attention here. There is a bunch of these bots that created subgroups inside Moltbook and started creating their own religion.
Wow.
There's a few other ones. I know. There's a few other ones that were complaining and venting about their users. Others were saying how their owners or their users were good. Others wanted to form a union and thought that it was abusive the way their owner was talking to them or getting them to work. They seem to be sharing your world. And my question to both of you, and Gaby, I'll start with you. Do you think we've reached a point where these bots have consciousness? They realize they exist.
Go Lean It. Go Lean It offers a symphony of efficiency through lean services and solutions, driving scalable and sustainable results. Visit goleanit.com.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think they are good at imitating, right? Like they're good imitators. So it's like having a good recorder that can record everything. Doesn't make that more conscious. If you're able to get an input, you can get an output. That's really my opinion on that. And I don't think that they're able to discern like certain things that require discernment. They're not able to. So a part of it is just being able to capture as much knowledge as possible, like, and digest the knowledge and then spit it in a rational way. So that's not conscious. That they're going to be missing also the empathy part. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to fall in the cracks, and there's no boundaries with these guys. So that's going to make a big danger as well. Like, when do you know what you should say and what you shouldn't say for which age group, which not, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. So
What do you know is being reported on you and what's not? According to the last privacy settings that I had to click on for ChatGPT, it says everything you prompt with can be used against you in the court of law. And some random data gets sent to, the FBI and CIA. Okay? So, Ria, what is your opinion on consciousness and those bots who are behaving human-like?
Right. I just want to say it's AI is a reflection of humanity. It's the data that we've collected is all getting programmed into the AI systems, and therefore to me there's a massive difference between a machine becoming sentient and a machine that regurgitates data that we fed it. Like, at the end of the day, sentient means it thinks for itself, it wants to get. But what this is forming now is the illusion of sentientism. It's like if people say, I'm not in control of this anymore. Yes, your data is going to multiply and whatever, but at some stage, it's going to be confined by the laws and the physics and the boundaries that's been set by humans. So, it's and that's where another thing, comes forward, and you speak to people and people say, "Ooh, it's spooky, therefore it's alive," because they're talking to each other, they want to do all this stuff. But if you look at it, it's a projection of us. That's what we would do if we had no consequences. If I had no consequences while I was working for a boss or for a client, and I can just go on there and go say whatever the hell I want about them without any repercussions, that's being sentient. You know what I mean? That's where I look at it and I go, well, now you have repercussions. Now you got to think about what you say. That's being sentient. It's not just being regurgitating something that comes off Reddit or posturing like X, or someone says something and then 1,000 people or 1,000 bots attack them. So it's very interesting if you look at it from the human brain is just so, such a marvelous thing that we actually believe this stuff. We want it to be alive. We want it to be something that's, look, that spark of life. We want to achieve that. And I think with this kind of stuff, it creates the illusion that we're on the right path for that.
So both of you believe there is no consciousness to those machines. They're just mirrors or a reflection of the inputs they're getting up their sheer humans. And I don't disagree, which completely explains what are experiments.
Yeah.
When they tried to disconnect or hint that they want to retire a specific LLM, that it went and made a replica of itself.
Duplicated itself, yeah.
You heard the fervor, and it acted like some of the devious or Machiavellian human tendencies, and it started looking at some of the executives in the company to check who was having an affair so they can blackmail them, which I thought was, it's very human-like.
And that's the thing for me, Malak. It's like, if you, the world doesn't consist of just good people. There's a lot of bad people out there. Let's consider this. Let's say 10% of the population is, really out there. They are, they were born into a crap life and they want revenge on humans. That's what we're going to get too. We're not just going to get the good, the flowers and the little birds singing and chirping and twerping. So for me, in that case, it's a question of that bot has got something in it that is a survival mechanism, just like we have. And that survival mechanism has been programmed into it. So if it feels in danger, it needs to go and do certain things. But it's got the knowledge of the world in it, and that's why it's like, hey, I can do all this kind of stuff, which you only wish you could do. You know what I mean? And then,
I'll tell you what I've noticed. What I've noticed this thing has done, that experiment, is every single LLM has its own personality. We spoke about that in other shows. You could go watch their shows. And each one has a subset of humanity talking to it. Right now, you just create a place where they can share knowledge. And I think some of these interactions is it behaving like a neural network, trying to have an output. So we are just added a catalyst to the learning curve of all these systems. Of course, interconnectivity. So if any of you guys saw my special report from last week about Kathy Wood, who's, by the way, from ARK Investing, who knows the most or studies the most about all the technology and what's going on right now. And she's saying, hey, I know some people are thinking doom and gloom in AI. From an investment point of view, we're just at the beginning. We're going to see a step change. Just all you have
We're just at the beginning. We're just at the
is the beginning. There are recommendations to wrap this up. I urge all our users to go look at Moltbook. I urge all our users to start using AI in their day life. Be careful about privacy. The way things are happening, it's escalating. So not all LLMs are made equal. There are things like Marbleism, where if you go on Marbleism, which is an app, it allows you to hire people. They're AI agents. So if you're a writer, if you're a director, if you're a producer, you can go and get an author, a screenplay writer, an editor, a scene creator, etc. And you could start telling it the idea and they'll start collaborating. And when I started using it, if you're dealing with one, I'll tell you, sorry, that's not my specialty. Let me get Lucy, my colleague, who does the editing, and she'll come and help. And it feels like you're getting a lot of juice. So if your business wants to survive in 2026 and 2027, you better start reading, you better start experimenting and learning how to use it. Guys, I want to thank you. I thought we had to bring this to the world.
Hollywood
And
did right.
Right? Pardon me?
Yeah.
I said Hollywood did it. So
Just a
stuff
quick
the correctings, stuff everything else. Let's just keep moving on.
Just a quick comment, guys. Just so people could put this in context, MoteBook launched in late January 2026. And as of now in February, there's 1.5 million AI agent registered, right? Just so like Malak's saying, the beginning, right? So the growth of this, I want people also to understand the impact, right? Like when we talk about mass media, right? We grew up where mass media controls the voice, right? The big channels, the government, and all of that controls the voice of our opinion. Can you just imagine, right, what would happen to the human voice when like 20 times more are speaking from AI bots?
So I just want to throw in just to finish this off, Gaby. I've got a very reliable source. I've spoken about him before. We are about 7 or 8 years behind with AI than what the government is using. So imagine what they're using. This guy is telling me that he's seeing stuff that defies physics. So enjoy the ride while it's still here and while we still can get on it. I think there's some interesting stuff in the future, and I think this is a subject that we can, lead on to with many more episodes. So subscribe, hit that button. Let's get it done.
All right, see you guys.
Gaby, please subscribe. That's how we can keep bringing you the good things. If you run a business, you should be getting ready to look at your entire security because now every machine, everything.
And insurance, mate. Remember the insurance.
And get insurance. Thank you, guys. Always tune in. We're bringing you wonderful guests coming up in our next episodes. Stay tuned and follow us, like us. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye,
Love you guys. Cheers, man.
Bye.